Hey everybody, my name's Ronnie, and I just thought I would give you a quick review about the new CaDA Yangwang U9 that has just been released a couple of weeks or maximum 1 or 2 months ago. And since I've been really eager to build it, I haven't found any reviews online where someone actually talks about the machine and the brick build super hypercar that it actually is. So, just to give some heads up before we get into more details, this has been a really enjoyable build. I will make some comparisons later with what I've built before and how it compares to actually, especially with the price, to different cars and different brands of the same, well, value and focus group. And I will try to get you a good look on this supercar. I might have to adjust the camera just a little bit. Yeah. And well, let's dive right into it. I would love to start with the box. This is CaDA model C64011W. It comes with almost 4,000 pieces, exactly 3,671. And I just got it in Europe for the price of around 220, 230 euros directly from the CaDA store, where it was delivered within 6 or 7 weeks after, 6 or 7 days after ordering it. So I'm really happy with the box. You can see the front, it's very shiny and glossy where it needs to be. It promotes a new CaDA app, the CaDA control app for the iPhone, for iOS and Android OS. And in the back you get to see, well, nothing super adventurous, just some details. The turning function, the seats that are actually adjustable, the height adjustment for the tires, the dancing function, the wheel, which also includes a couple of prints, and well, yeah, it's a motorized set. And just to give you some spoilers, it has, I think, 11 motors included, and even 2 battery boxes. I didn't know a brick build set before that had that many motors and even that many battery boxes included here. So that's a first for me. There is a really nice unboxing experience that looks something like this. I don't want to ruin it, but it has some nice printed boxes in there that give you an idea of how the machine is supposed to look, of the special lights that I will get into later, and very nice and sturdy manual. You see, it's just one manual for almost 4,000 bricks, and it's like a Technic set, very technical building instructions. This is nothing too surprising for anyone who has built like a set like this before. And there are multiple steps within a step, so it's not like piece by piece. It is actually difficult to build, and there's a lot of finicky stuff where you have to get really deep into it, where you need small fingers or maybe even some tools or a special light that you can shine into the machine so you can hit those axles and those pins. It's not always easy, but this has just been like a handful of times where it was actually difficult to attach things. But I will go into the building process in a moment. Let's just get rid of the box for now. So far so good. I will try to show you a little bit about the dimensions of the car. I do have this very cool high-tech tool here that I can measure it with. It has a length of approximately 60 centimeters from front to rear. The height, it's not very big, it's very shallow, and goes up to 16 centimeters at the roof, and the rear spoiler is not actually that much taller. And the width, it's around 23 centimeters wide. Perfect. So let's get rid of this for now. I just want to show it from the front. Everything you see here, I just want to go get a head start with saying that everything you see here, this one, that's a print. The lights, those are special parts, they're special molded parts, also printed. There's not a single sticker in here, not a single one. Everything's printed. There's a small exception though, there are some stickers in there, but those stickers are not for the build itself, they are for assistance with the cables. So you can label the cables with some colors that they pack in there, so you have it easier to connect everything once you are nearing the end of the build. And the stickers are actually quite helpful for that. So I just want to show you very basic functions that it has, the RC functions. Let me just not put me into focus, let's put the machine into focus here, a little on the rear. I have to adjust this just a little bit. So it is actually, like I told before, there's the CaDA app where you can just connect the machine and it tells you which motor you have to turn on first. So you open up the trunk in the rear and you get the first motor, which is the left one. You press it for a couple of seconds until it finds the remote. And the same for the second motor. You press the button and it's connected. So the app then looks something like this. It's actually very handy to use. Let me close up the trunk first. There we go. And yeah, don't want to drop it from the table. It is quite fast and it does its job really good. I don't want to drive too much around on the table, but you get the idea. This is the steering. It works also very well. I can turn on the lights. I think you can see this right here when I point it towards the camera. The lights turn on and off, also via the remote. The same goes for the rear, where you can easily, it's just two small LEDs in the back. I think you get the idea, and when you see it, there's another print here in the, there's also a printed translucent piece there. There are a couple of very special bricks in there. And let me show you a very special feature that they came up with that not many cars can do. So it kind of spins on its own in place. See, this is actually manageable in the app, so I'm very, very happy that this works. I'll get into why in a moment. I just want to show you one more function. So you can raise the whole body a little, and you can drop it down, so it's a little flat. And then you have a couple of buttons here with dance moves, because it's I think the nickname of the machine is it's the dancing car. So here's a second dance, so the lights go wild and the body moves all around, and it's all controlled via motors. And then you have this accelerometer function. When you turn it on, if you tilt the phone, the car tilts along, as you can see. So I will turn this off for now and I will drop it down. And that's basically it for the remote controls. The machine is quite speedy. It is really fast, but it could be faster. The reason why it is so fast and why it gets such a good traction is that there are each wheel is powered by its own motor. And it doesn't have one central motor that gets to all the tires. Every tire has its own motor. It makes it quite fast, and it makes it possible in this way that each wheel or tire can spin on its own. So you can make it spin around because all the tires go into different directions. It's actually very helpful, and it makes the whole spinning on in place possible. So you've seen the remote functions. I want to go into details with the the build and what has been special about it and what I enjoyed most, I will turn off the motors so it will reset in height. Yeah, perfect. The last functions that I want to mention is you can open up this. There's not much in there except for a cable and a couple of things that the kids here put in, like Pokemon chips. I'll leave them in there. You can open the doors via a very special mechanism. It's not super easy to figure out, and it's also held in place via some rubbers. But this is how it looks. Actually quite nice. You can just get it closed and then you can snap it in place. There's like a small holder there for the doors, so they can actually they close very well. And then in the rear you can open up the trunk. There's a lot of cable mismanagement on my part, but yeah, basically all the cables across the whole car, they all end up here in the back with 2 motors or 2 battery packs inside that you have to charge separately though. There's a cable, a USB mini I think cable in there, where you can easily charge both battery packs separately, probably for an hour until they're full, and then it's all right. There's also some system bricks here that are not like they are not Technic bricks, they are system bricks. Let's close this up and have it done. So the car overall, I built it in, I have to say, it's probably like 6 to 7 hours. I enjoyed the build a lot. As I said before, it's not very easy. It's quite difficult, and it takes some effort to get through. You basically build with all the bags that are labeled via numbers. You build like a big piece, then you attach it to the body. You build the next big piece, you attach it to the body. You don't usually have the whole body in front of you and then you stick the stuff on there. It's more big piece. You could probably get 2 or 3 people and build it alongside with you. Everybody everybody builds something and then you get it together. There's like a couple of special bricks I think here with this thing. There's like crane-like elements that make it so this looks actually decent and very comparable to the original Yangwang supercar. As I mentioned before, the headlights here, they are also specially molded. I haven't seen those before. And there might even be, with the whole exterior, there might be a couple of pieces that have never been released before, so they can match the look of the car as close as possible to the real life version. One more thing that I mentioned before that I haven't shown. If we open up the door and let's focus on the seat. The seats, they are movable. If my hands would not be in the way, so you can move them forward and backward. They're like on little rails, and the seats are fully built as well. They're not like pre-built. Let's close the door and lock it in place. So I was quite happy with the build. I think it was I have done a couple of CaDA builds before in my time, and let's focus back. Let's focus a little more on the machines. I'm sorry for the camera issues. So with this, I think CaDA went all out with how easy or how fun it is actually to build the machine. It's very well explained, even though there are a couple of difficult steps within the manual. It's very well explained. You have really good pictures, and they also mention and highlight steps that you might fail at and how not to do them. So they're like big red crosses and how not to do it. And I want to just give you a comparison. If we take this here, leave it at the side, a little to here, and I'll take another CaDA machine that I've built like a year ago. This is the Mercedes AMG. If you're here, odds are that you've seen this one before and that you actually have heard a lot about it. So this was, just to backtrack a little, this was a lot more frustrating to build. I think the cable management was awful, especially in the front. Everybody who's built this machine, they know there's like a big combined brick of cables with bricks attached that they stuck along the whole building process, and they always dropped off, they always fell off. Really annoying. The whole cable management in the back, not very good. And a couple of other frustrating points. So obviously this looks really good. I'll leave it here for the moment. This one is not as iconic as a car, I dare to say, because I think Yangwang is it's a Chinese car manufacturer, so it's not as well known, especially in the western parts of the world, as the Mercedes might be. But as a build, I think they went all out. I can't actually think of a single flaw within this whole process of building the car. Everything's been perfect. It worked very well. There were no issues. There was just very small frustrations that have usually been tidied up with the manual and how to do and how to attach things. But it's like, it's when you for example, when you take the whole rear, you build the whole trunk section and then you just put it in there, and you have this whole section in your hand, this one and everything that's down below, and then you have to attach like 6 or 8 pins at once to lock it in. So that's not as easy as it sounds, especially since CaDA bricks, the pins, they are quite stiff. They're not like as flexible as maybe Lego or other bricks. So it's quite hard, but the whole car is very sturdy. It's very, very not flexible. And I'll get rid of this. I just wanted to show this as a comparison, so you know how to weigh in on my opinion when it comes to building and maybe frustration. It's also, you can see, if I just want to show the underbody, it's beautiful. You've seen different cars before, I suppose, when you're here, but it's all covered. There's like no big holes in there except for these things in the middle where you have to put in some bricks to stabilize the whole build. You see all the pins are black. There's no color, there's no rainbow stuff going on in there. Everything's very well done and covered and color coordinated. I'm actually really happy with how that looks even on camera. And for special parts, I want to mention the tires, which I think might be reason to complain for a couple of people, because they're not made out of rubber. Every other supercar that I've built before, they had rubber tires or rubber wheels. This one doesn't. It has low friction plastic tires that are not exactly the same material as the rest of the bricks, but there's something else. It's really hard to put a finger on it. It needs to be this way so the whole turning and driving process works. If those tires would be rubber, or the wheels, I don't think the four-wheel drive mechanic, like all the wheels turning on their own accord because of the 4 motors, they probably would throw it off, the whole process. But since they all spin individually, actually works. So, and it gains some speed over a short distance. But it's worth mention. If you are expecting tires, for example, the Mercedes has more interesting tires. They are with special prints and they are rubber. I think the Mercedes costs the same approximately and has the same amount of pieces as well. But then again, let me get something else. Let you put you to the side. Something that you might have seen before as well. And this is the Ferrari from Lego. It's also a supercar. I would venture out there and say the number of pieces and the amount of pieces, it's a little dusty. But yeah, who cares about that? The amount of pieces is approximately the same. But and it's not motorized, but if it comes down to price, CaDA wins all the way. It's actually incredible. The Ferrari is so much more expensive. Here in Europe, it's around 450 up to 500, sometimes 400 when you get lucky, euros. And it's double the price of a fully motorized, fully printed CaDA Supercar. So it's not even a competition. You might argue now, and I think it's an argument that's actually fair to make, does the CaDA, this is a building process thingy here that I wanted to mention as well. Sometimes pieces fall off. So I'll get rid of the Ferrari for now and get back finishing this one up. Let's put you into focus a little more since you are the star of the show. So this it's really good value for what you pay. It has 11 motors, it has 2 battery boxes, it has lights, it is remote controlled. Is it necessary though? Because you might only play around it 2 or 3 times, enjoy the functions, enjoy a couple of drives. Then you notice, oh, it's actually quite difficult to charge it because you have to get very small fingers in the back to connect the cable to the boxes, and I don't think you can take the boxes out to charge them like individually apart from the car. So that doesn't work very well. And then it's basically just a shelf car that you put on display, that you want people to see. And then again, it's just a Chinese car where most people won't even recognize, they won't even know what it is. I think the company, the brand is up and coming. Their marketing looks actually really interesting, but I don't think I've seen a single one of their cars in Europe. So yeah, it's not as shiny or recognizable as the Mercedes is. But then again, I think the function that they've packed in here are really good, and it's so worthwhile building. The brick quality is outstanding. I had one issue with a pin, just one pin that was broken. It was like split in half, but that doesn't really matter since CaDA always packs in a lot more parts than you need. Sometimes you even end up with bigger parts left in a step because they put in some spare parts from like tiles or panels that you wouldn't actually expect in different companies' supercars. And I had one of those, you can see that here, one of those longer bricks with the holes in them where the connector pins fit in. One of them was actually broken in half. It was the only issue I had. It wasn't broken by me. I got it out of the back like this in 2 pieces, and luckily for me it didn't really matter for the build because it wasn't holding anything up. It was just like basically for sustaining keeping something together, but there were different bricks as well involved, so it wasn't all leaned on this one bar. So it was fine. Was quite disappointed though to see that there's a broken piece in there. I don't even know how this happens because the box is very generous with the space. It shouldn't break. But yeah. So coming to a close, I can completely recommend this. It's a very fun build. It's a lot of value for the buck. Kids love to play with it. You can argue, is it cool to have the remote control on your phone, or would you rather have like a physical remote control in your hand? But it's safe to say that they would never have been able to pack all the functions on a physical remote that you have here, because the suspension brakes, the turning, the driving, the lights, you wouldn't have been able to put this on a physical remote. So I'm actually happy and okay with being on a mobile phone for this time. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what CaDA does next. I'm happy with how this turned out. There's, I think, a new Mercedes coming sometime soon, nearing the end of the year. But for now, super happy with this machine. Yeah, see you guys next time.